Joining me now to discuss is Dr. Dale Kalina, infectious disease physician at Joe Brant Hospital in Burlington. Doctor, good morning. Nice to have you with us. First of all, what is listeriosis?
Morning, Marcia. Thanks for having me. And just as an FYI, I'm in Brantford now at Brant Community Healthcare
Congratulations
System.
on the move.
Thank you. But listeriosis is a bacterial infection that we see in individuals primarily at what we call the extremes of age. Now, I didn't make these numbers up, but so it's below 2 years of age or above 60 years of age. And this is the type of infection that also we warn pregnant individuals about. So the type of infection that we try to avoid, things like soft cheeses, deli products and deli meats and things like that, because it can cause a lot of complications of pregnancy as well. So this is the same infection, and this is unfortunately something that we do see time and time again with certain products, including this time these kind of non-traditional milks that are being recalled.
So how does listerious get into food products like the ones we're showing, the ones that are the subject of the recall? And we should also mention, doctor, you can't smell it. It's not like it's going to smell or look spoiled, correct?
Yeah, that's a very good point to make, because with a lot of infections that we get from foods, the food will smell putrid, it will smell off. You can't smell listeria, and it is a foodborne illness. So it's a bacterial infection that we usually pasteurize out. So that's why we don't see it in pasteurized milk products, like cow's milk products, but we would see it in unpasteurized milk products, which we always recommend against drinking. But when we're seeing it in other products, through the manufacturing process, bacteria can get into those processes. And listeria is a bacteria that really likes cold temperatures. So it likes that refrigeration. It likes being in the deli aisle. It likes those sorts of things. And so if you haven't pasteurized it out already, which is what would have been part of the process for a lot of traditional dairy products, then you're at a higher risk of it being included in it.
What are the symptoms?
So for the vast majority of people who are not at the extremes of age and not pregnant, we tend to see a little bit of gastroenteritis, sometimes some fever, sometimes some malaise, some fatigue, things like that. But where we start to get worried is, of course, if somebody is below the age of 2 or above the age of 60, or if they're pregnant. So when those are the situations, you should always get checked out by a medical professional, because listeria infections can be quite dangerous. They can be dangerous to yourself. They can also be dangerous to your child if you're pregnant at that time. So really a lot of gastroenteritis and then some general infectious symptoms.
So as we mentioned, there are 5 hospitalizations so far linked to this bacteria. How are those people being treated, and are you concerned that more people could end up in hospital as a result of consuming these products?
So my hope is that with the recall being so widely publicized, that people will not be consuming these beverages, and which will dramatically reduce the amount of exposure. Now, these types of beverages can stay in your fridge for quite some time. So really, you should check your fridge, check to make sure that you haven't purchased this, you can return it. But just don't drink it if you happen to have it there. The people that are hospitalized are likely people who do have more severe infections, of course, including bloodstream infections with this bacteria. But the fortunate thing is that it is routinely susceptible to common antibiotics like ampicillin, which is what we tend to use to treat listeriosis, which is one of the diseases caused by listeria.
Doctor, thanks so much. Dr. Dale Kalina is an infectious disease physician.